Shri Vijila Sathyananth.
Thank you, Vice Chairman, sir. It's a very important discussion which has been brought in by Shri Pavan Kumar Verma ji, who has taken this issue to the note of the Ministry of External Affairs and the Government of India for settling out this crisis which has erupted in the minds of all the Nepalese who share the border, who share the friendly ties, the bilateral, marital, economic, traditional, and cultural relationship with our neighboring state, India. In the adoption of new constitution in Nepal, after a prolonged process since the overthrow of monarchy in 2006 has triggered this crisis situation in Nepal. It is perceived that the new constitution acts against the interest of Madeshis who inhabit the southern and Terai region of Nepal. There were disturbances in Nepal even before the draft constitution was adopted. India had cautioned against the adoption of the new constitution. However, Nepal went ahead with the adoption of the constitution on 20th September 2015. India did not welcome this adoption of this new constitution and merely noted that a new constitution had been adopted and called for an amicable settlement of differences between these two nations without any resort of violence. And I bring to the notice of this august House that still now this nation has not reverted back, or they have not recovered from the devastating earthquake which caused innumerable loss of life, property, everything, which hit Nepal in April 2015. And at that time, I know that everyone, the whole nation, we stood in solidarity with our neighboring nation. The Madeshis are generally considered low-caste people as against the elite who reside in the hilly regions of the country. The Madeshis are also more closely linked with the neighboring regions in India, particularly the state of Bihar, the northern districts of Bihar. And we have already heard so much because Nepal has never gone beyond India's control at any time. In protest against the new constitution and demanding amendments to the constitution, the Madeshis have enforced a road blockade. They created road blockade on the Indo-Nepal border, severely affecting the movement of trade, commodities, as they said, the petroleum, natural gas, and everything, the essentials were not transported from India to Nepal, because Nepal fully depends on India in these items. There is a perception in certain quarters that India is implicitly supporting this blockade, stopping of or blockade of natural commodities by the Madeshis in order to pressurize Nepal to amend the constitution. The stand of the government of India has been criticized by some experts as alienating one of India's closest neighbors and traditionally closest allies, and driving Nepal into the arms of their northern neighbor, China. In spite of such criticism and possible strategic implications, the government of India has taken a strong stance in the matter and has allowed the blockade to continue. Here I want to reiterate another very important issue, that why this double standards? There are double standards between our consideration regarding Nepal and our consideration regarding the another neighboring state, Sri Lanka. Once India called our neighboring state, Sri Lanka, as a friendly nation or friendship state. India, Natpu Nadu. It is in Tamil, it is friendship state. India has friendly relationship with Sri Lanka, or we call Sri Lanka as our friendly state. And even the president of Sri Lanka, the then president, Rajya, was called for the swearing-in ceremony of our Honorable Prime Minister of India. India is now acting strongly in favor of the marginalized and victimized section of the population in our neighboring country, Nepal. We demand, our Honorable Leader Purachi Talvi Amma demands, that a similar approach must be taken in the same case of the marginalized and victimized people in our neighboring state, Sri Lanka. The most obvious thing ever. We also have the strong emotionally connect with both Nepal and Sri Lanka. The condition of Tamils in Sri Lanka who have been subjected to systematic discrimination and reduced to the state of second-class citizens. India should come out much more strongly in support of the Tamil minority in Sri Lanka, who were subjected to an ethnic crisis, genocide, and war crimes in the closing stages of civil war in 2009. Despite repeated pleas made by my revered tall leader, Dr. Purachi Talvi Amma, including through 3 unanimous resolutions in the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly, the government of India has not done enough to protect the interest of the Tamils in Sri Lanka. Similarly, the long pending issue of the traditional fishing rights of Indian fishermen from Tamil Nadu in their historic fishing waters of the Pug Bay have not been effectively protected by the government of India. My revered leader, Purachi Talvi Amma, had challenged the Indo-Sri Lanka agreements of 1974 and 1976, ceding Kachativu to Sri Lanka on a very valid and constitutional grounds.
Thank you.
The government of Tamil Nadu is also party to this petition. I urge the government of India, I am going to conclude.
Very important issues you are raising, but there are no fisheries in Nepal.
Secure the historic and traditional rights of our fishing folks. Because to both nations, why there is double standards in both the nations? That's what ADMK is asking. The strong stance taken to protest the interest of the marginalized and victimized people in Nepal must be replicated in the case of other similar placed people.
Thank you.
The issues relating to Tamil minority in Sri Lanka must be addressed even more effectively. The interest of the Tamil fishermen must also be secured. I thank for the golden opportunity rendered to me. Thank you.